Hi, I'm Andy Andrews, the professional noticer. When I was a little boy, I'm not going to say that I behaved badly often, but on occasion, it did happen. And when it did happen, I totally remember what my mother would quietly say to me. She'd say, "You better control yourself right now, or you're going to wish you had." And most times I did control myself, because I had learned that my mother was right. If I did not control myself quickly, my situation only got worse. At some point, well into adulthood, I realized I had become very purposeful about controlling myself. And the ability to do so has not only kept me out of trouble, for the most part, it has continued to move my life in a productive direction. It might sound like a complicated process, but it wasn't. Controlling myself was as simple as controlling my thinking. Have you ever controlled your thinking? Of course you have. By choosing to watch or listen to certain things, you control your thinking. By choosing to read certain things, you control your thinking. In the same way, you control your thinking by choosing what you will not read or what you will not watch or listen to. Today, the world is changing rapidly. But that doesn't mean it's all for the worst. A mind left alone, however, can decide it's for the worst. A mind without specific direction from its owner soon begins to run out of control. And a mind out of control feasts on what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. Obviously, 24-hour news channels prey on our tendency to expect the worst, and they deliver. Question: when are ratings highest for news channels? Answer: when they have bad news to report. Think about it. The worse an event, the more time they take dissecting that event. And the more time they take, the higher their ratings go. The higher the ratings go, the more money they make. They know this. So it's important for you to know that news channels have a vested interest in making things sound as bad as they can. Simply put, it's why we are told over and over again about a 2% death rate, while a 98% survival rate is never mentioned. But we must accept some responsibility for this too. What I call the Chicken Little syndrome is so hardwired into our minds that it exists independent of reality. The Roman philosopher Seneca wrote, "There are more things likely to frighten us than there are likely to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Imagination? Yeah. See, I think Seneca nailed it, because fear, anxiety, and worry are nothing but a misuse of the creative imagination that has been placed in you. And your imagination is something you can control. Let's listen to what else Seneca wrote about the role our imagination plays in allowing fear to control our lives. "What I advise you to do," he says, "is not to be unhappy before the crisis comes, since it may be that the danger will never come upon you. After all, it has certainly not yet come. Accordingly, some things torment us more than they should. Some torment us before they arrive, and some torment us when they ought not torment us at all, because they never arrive. We've gotten ourselves into the habit of exaggerating or imagining or anticipating sorrow." Seneca then goes on to distinguish between reasonable and unreasonable fears and advises us not to squander our mental and emotional energy on the unreasonable, which he points out make up the vast majority of our anxieties. Here's what he says: "It is likely that some troubles will befall us, but it is not a present fact. How often has the unexpected happened? How often has the expected never come to pass? And even if it is meant to happen, What good does it do to run out and meet your suffering? Look forward now to better things. What shall you gain by doing this? Time. There will be many happenings during that time, which will serve to postpone or even end the danger you fear. Even bad fortune is fickle. Perhaps it will come, perhaps not. But in the meantime, it is not. So look forward to better things. In other words, he's saying use your imagination correctly. As it turns out, I suppose Joyce, Sawyer, Andrews, and Seneca were on the same page because they knew that what they were telling us was something we could do. It is a choice we can make, and life will be sweeter as soon as we make it. You'd better get control of yourself. That's a quote worth keeping from a Roman philosopher and a mama from South Alabama.